What's up guys, it's Spider back for another Umamusume video. So today we're going to be going over Tamamo Cross. She's finally going to be coming out within a day or so. Before I get started though, I'd greatly appreciate it because drop me a like, comment, subscribe would really help me out trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the day. But that being said, let's get right into this. So Tamamo Cross is coming out and we have a reroll banner of Nice Nature and a Gory Cap. As like a quick little, if you guys are wondering, you know, should you summon or not. Support card banner, not too bad. You don't really need to go for it. Tamamo Cross is actually quite decently good, or maybe not decent, it's actually quite good. So if you do want another pretty good Uma, which we'll break down in this video for more details, she might not be a bad option, but you can also totally skip it if you really want to. Of course, we're going to be getting a new main story chapter 5, as well as we're going to be getting something pretty big related to the main story. It's going to be pretty good. I don't really know why, but something like that's going to be coming out. I'll let you guys know when I learn a bit more details about that, if I do. But yeah, so also with this, there's gonna be a free new support card, so that's pretty cool. And here we go, let's go into Tamamo Cross. So she has 83 speed, 95 stamina, 105 power, 83 guts, and 84 wit. She has A for turf tracks, F for dirt. Distances, she has G for sprint, E for mile, A for medium, A for long. Her style, she has G for front, A for pace, A for late, A for end. That's quite good actually. It's kind of like a Gory Cap a little bit, where she's good for pace, late, and end, so that's really cool. Her growth rates are going to be 20 into stamina, so that's really good, and then 10% into power, so 30 overall, but still really good, right? And then her unique skill here, White Lightning Coming Through. Bolt down the track like lightning when well positioned or aiming for the front from mid pack on a straight in the second half of the race. Kind of a mouthful, not gonna lie. So I'm guessing it's just saying that when she's in a good position and she's getting ready to, you know, move up a bit, like if she's a pace chaser, late runner, or even an end closer or whatever, and when she's ready to go to the front, more so when she's a pace chaser most likely, right? And maybe even a late runner, then I guess she gets a stamina, or not stamina, she gets a probably like acceleration or velocity boost is my understanding. And then her essential skills here are going to be preferred position, slightly decreased fatigue mid-race as a pace chaser, fast and furious, increased velocity mid-race as a late surger, straightaway spurt, slightly increased acceleration on a straight in the last spurt as an end closer, and lastly, we got tail 9, increased velocity after activating many skills mid-race. That's quite good actually, in my opinion. Alright, let's look into some more details of our girl Tamamo Cross. Her innate skills are going to be tail held high, slightly increased velocity after activating many skills mid-race. So not the gold version, but a lower version of tail 9 basically. Then we have Thunderbolt Step, moderately avoid becoming surrounded for a medium duration when positioned toward the back mid-race, so as an end or late runner basically for medium races. And lastly, we have Position Pilfer, slightly increased velocity mid-race as a late surger. And then we went over her awakened skills, and then these are going to be the more important ones, the evolve skills. So we have Fast and Furious, which will become Storm Rider. So the conditions for this one are going to be have the elite or have the fast learner status effect at the end of training, or have at least 800 power, and you have to have at least 800 wit. So Fast and Furious, originally it basically just gave you increased velocity mid-race as a late surger, and the upgrade is going to transform it into Storm Strider. So at a random point during the middle part of the race, if you're not in the front, your speed will greatly increase. So basically just playing more to the fact of like mid-race with a little bit of an extra gimmick of just having to be making sure that you're not in the front, and you'll just get a bigger so most likely like just a bigger velocity, maybe even acceleration in there, so that's really cool. It's very nice. We love that. Okay, and then the next thing here we got is another option for Fast and Furious upgrade. So for this one, you have to win any G1 long race 2 times, so make sure it's G1 and a long race, like a long track, or not track, long distance, my bad. And then, because I was like, that didn't sound right. But the upgrade for this one's going to be Let's Get Cracking. So at a random point during the middle part of the race, if you're not in the front as well, your speed will increase and your stamina will slightly recover. So this one gives you more speed, which is going to be about 0.45. This one's going to get you 0.25, but then you get a bit of stamina recovery. So you do lose quite a bit. You lose almost half of the speed you would get from this one up here, but with this one you do get a bit of recovery. So depending on how you want to build it, maybe you want to go down this down this route if you want to give her a little bit more recovery if you need it, right? Otherwise, this option up here, Storm Shredder, is a bit better just because you get a bigger stamina increase, right? I mean, not stamina, bigger speed increase. And the next one here is we have Tail 9. So have a fast learner status, so it's the same thing with the fast learner. Effect at the end of training, or have at least 600 stamina, and you have to win the Tenno Spring. And the Tail 9, originally this one increased velocity after activating many skills mid-race, and now it will become Tail of Ecstasy. If you activated at least 3 skills during the middle part of the race, your speed will greatly increase. So instead of having the condition of it just being many skills, now it is 3. Actually, I do wonder, does the original have like a limit or no? Like for the activating many skills. Okay, looks like... Okay, so it looks like even though it says many skills, it just means do a minimum of 3, and this is just kind of clarifying that even more so. Just, yeah, do a minimum of 3, and then it'll just get better effects, essentially. So that's really cool. So the minimum is still basically the same. It's just that, you know, you get better stuff out of it, right? And then here's going to be her skills from her events. We got the Henshin Race Course, Tail Held High, Kyoto Race Course, Updrafters, Nakayama Race Course, and Up Tempo. So there you go. If you want to pause the video, you know, take a look at those. There you go. And then here's going to be her races. So we have to make debut, have at least 5,000 fans, place 3rd or better in 4 G3 or higher races. So that's interesting. So basically, you have to do 4 races that are G3. You have to place at least 3rd or better. So that could be kind of good or kind of annoying, but you know, maybe it might mean she'll have more fans. So that's pretty cool. Then we have to do place 3rd or better in the Hanshin Daishio 10. Then place 3rd or better in the Tenno Spring. So there's, you know, one of the meaning to do, right? Then place 1st in the Tarazuka Kinen. Then place 1st in Tenno Autumn, and finally place 1st in Army Kennen. Kind of makes sense where there isn't that many races. There's only 8 overall in terms of like, you know, or like 8 objectives, but there is 4 races right here. So technically this will be like 8 plus 4, so it's gonna be like 12. So, or like, I guess yeah, there's basically 8 objectives, but there's going to be like an extra 4 races you have to do, because you have to do the 4 G3 races, which I don't know if they're going to be back to back, or if it's going to be more of like you could just do it with whenever you want as long as you do the races, is most likely how it's going to be. Or if you want, you could just wait till the last 4 turns, then do your 4 races there. Hopefully you get G3, but by then you probably have enough stats to be able to achieve that, right? And then we have different training events here, which give different buffs, different things that you get. I don't really need to go over these because these are kind of like a given for the most part. Literally, you know, these are given like when, you know, because of the whole kill wall that we had a while ago. So I probably don't really need to go over these, but there's some pretty good ones here. I guess the one benefit of going over these would be like, you know, if you don't have the Uma, right? I guess, yeah, I guess that's now think about it. That might be good. That might be a good reason why to still go over these. It's just because of the fact that, yes, when you do have the Uma, you don't really need this anymore, right? But if you're debating on whether to get her, and maybe you're wondering if she has any good events, then maybe this will be useful. But then again, at that point, you kind of were already deciding, like, I already want her, right? Because, like, this isn't really gonna, like, benefit, like, other Umas, technically. More so the skills that are already outlined that we already went over as a parent. Otherwise, at this point, you know, when you play the game and you use this Uma, this is already going to be, like, given to you, essentially, anytime an event pops up for Tamamo Crush or any other Uma, right? So, I guess I still don't really need to go over this, because, like, if you're going to pull for Tamamo Crush, you don't really need to look at the, or if you're debating whether or not to pull for her, this isn't really what matters that much. This is just more of, like, if you're wondering, oh, what's the better, you know, what are the better options for what kind of build I want to run her on, right? So yeah, these don't really matter too much for debating whether you want to pull for her. What matters more is the skills here, and more so the unique skill, right? The unique skill is the main thing that usually matters if you want to pull Uma or not, right? I mean, other stuff does matter too, like if they're actually like a good, like, because, you know, this is more for like parent stuff, but also can be if they're good Uma, and then the other stuff is, and their stats is also, and I guess also technically like the training events do technically matter as well, for if like the Uma's actually just good on their own. So I guess there is a bit of that too. I'm just kind of going back and forth because, like, I can kind of see both reasonings as to why, like, still showing this is still valuable, because it's like, oh well, maybe they're a good parent, but then those training, you know, the events, they're kind of awful, right? But you know, they looked fine to me. Anyways, yeah, going for the support cards here. You know, you don't really need to worry about these. I already like covered these. At least I'm pretty sure I covered this one in a previous video. This one I do know I covered in a previous video. So if you want a bit more details on these, you can go check those videos out. But you know, we'll at the very least take a look if they're still valuable, right? Because, you know, time has passed, so some of these may have moved up a little bit, some of these may have moved down a little bit. Probably not by much though, to be honest, because not that much time has passed. But the more important thing is seeing the Google Doc. You know, I love using this Google Doc. It's really, really good for letting you know like which is like a really good Uma, and then which is like not that good of an Uma, right? So as usual, 1 is mid, not really, or not mid. 1 is like not really good. 3 is more like mid, right? And then 5 is like really, really good, you know, pure meta. So we'll take a look at Tamamo Cross. So Tamamo Cross original, right? Because this isn't like any like special thing going, right? So as an end closer slash late surger, so mainly these two specifically, she has a 4. So basically meta, so really good. Team Trials as a mid late surger, she's a 5. So pure meta for Team Trials. And as a parent, she's 2. So not really that good as a parent, but really good as an Uma overall. So Tamamo's unique has carryover on Tenosho Haru, which I'm guessing is an upcoming Uma, which makes her quite strong on the track. However, it requires you to be 6th or 7th or 2nd or 3rd, which is pretty strict. Whether she's better as a surger or as an end closer will depend on the meta, but probably end closer. Her speed skills are quite strong and will push her forward, making it difficult to be in a position as a late surger, as the position requirement on her unique doesn't line up with where late surgers usually want to be. So overall, a really good Uma for being an end closer and a late surger. Does have a bit of drawback with like how some of her skills kind of contradict with what she wants to do with her unique, but overall a really strong pickup. So if you guys were interested in her, you know, she's very good, right? Maybe not a must-have, but quite a strong Uma. And then for the support cards really quick, so we got a great cap here. This is going to be based off a Unity Cup here. So if we take a look at where this one's going to be, this one at MLB is B tier, so not really that high. And then at 0 dupes, it is going to be F tier. I would take a look at URA, but right now the best way to do, you know, to level up your Umas is literally through Unity Cup. There's no point to do URA, so I'm not going to be taking a look at URA. Just because I don't think there's like really any point to do that. And then another one is Nice Nature here. So for URA, she's going to be down here at D tier, MLB, and then F tier for, you know, 0 dupes. And then I guess we could take a look at the future upcoming one, the next main scenario. So, you know, right now we have your Unity Cup, and then the upcoming one will be I think it's like something Arena or whatever. I don't remember the actual name of it, but we can take a look at that really quickly as well to see if anything changes, right? So let's see, Oguri Cap, MLB is C tier, so still didn't bump up at all. And then as a wit, the Nice Nature one actually did go up quite a bit. So the Nice Nature one is actually quite meta for the upcoming next scenario that's coming after, you know, because right now we're Unity Cup, and the next one, this Nice Nature MLB will be very strong, but Fine Motion will also still be really strong. And then Marvelous Sunday is also still really good and very strong as an SLR card, so that's really cool. So if maybe you're interested in the Nice Nature support card, might not be a bad option, but I wouldn't say you really need to go out of your way for it. Not to mention the fact that the Oguri Cap one isn't really that useful, right? Is there any future scenarios where maybe that Oguri Cap one is actually useful or no? That's a good question. Let's see. B tier, so a bit better. And then the most recent one for, I'm guessing, JP. Let's see, it is B tier, yeah. So it doesn't really see that much value from what it looks like. And then Nice Nature pretty much is like gonna be in the meta as like a really strong wit card once we get to the next event, or the next main scenario basically, and then the future ones after that. So Nice Nature will become really strong by that point. So if you do have an MLB, it'll be a very useful card, basically on the same tier as Fine Motion, if not better, most likely, because Fine Motion will drop eventually down the meta, right? Especially as we get newer and better support cards. But I don't really think you need to be spending your summons right now, your carrots. I think right now wouldn't be a bad time to save. But if you do like Tamamo Cross, she's really, really strong. She's very good. So not a bad pickup. I'd say, at least for the support card banner, probably you don't really need it. I think it's fine to skip. Plus, you might be able to get free copies or get your first free copy if you want to choose it for whenever you get to like anniversary goodies and all that. Most likely that'll be included somewhere. You could pick it up there if you really want to. But yeah, with that being said, hope this video helps you guys out. Good luck with these polls if you guys are planning to pull for Tamamo Crush or the support card banner, and I'm gonna catch y'all later. Peace and take care, everybody.